What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham, back with another video, so appreciate you guys clicking. Let's go ahead and jump on in here. Could the Chiefs be in on DeAndre Hopkins this offseason? Report from Jordan Schultz and rumors from other outlets as well that the Cardinals plan to shop the All-Pro wide receiver this offseason. Here's what Schultz, formerly of ESPN and now of The Score, had to say about this. Sources say the Arizona Cardinals plan to try and trade All-Pro wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins this offseason. D-Hop has 2 years and $34.36 million left on his contract and is likely to seek a new deal. Owner Michael Bidwell plans to express this to GM candidates. Obviously, the Cardinals have to hire a new GM and a new head coach, and the owner is going to make it clear to candidates that they plan on trading Hopkins. Hopkins kind of confirmed this report and rumors, saying forever grateful. So it kind of just seems like the two sides are mutually agreeing to part ways, with Arizona kind of entering a transition year. They're going to get a new coach. Kyler Murray may miss some of next year, so chances are they won't be a playoff team in 2023. Now, it sounds like, according to reports, that the Cardinals want a first-round pick, could settle for a second-round pick. We'll see. Obviously, the Chiefs will likely be, drafting at the end of the first round. Would I give up a first for D-Hop? I don't know. He's 30 years old. If he wants a new deal, you're going to have to pay him probably $25+ million per year. The last couple of years, while he's been good when he's been out there, he's missed time for various reasons. This year, 6 of his games missed were due to suspension. Last year, missed some times with an injury as well. He's still very good, though. Like, I'm a big DeAndre Hopkins guy, but the Chiefs have a lot of big contracts on book. Do you want to add another one? Now, selfishly, I'd love to see it happen because, DeAndre Hopkins, you put him on this offense, he's a true alpha male number one. And then, the guys that are still here, MVS, Kadarius Toney, obviously Juju and Hardman are free agents. And if they walk, you could let those guys walk, especially Juju, trade for Nuke, and then you'd be good to go. So it'd be very interesting to see what happens. Obviously, the Chiefs would have to be creative with their salary cap. They got to make a decision on Orlando Brown as well, which we'll get to in a moment. I want to talk about Orlando Brown a little bit. This is one of those ideas that seems fun and seems like a good idea. Is it that realistic for this team? I don't know. Seems pretty unlikely. This team didn't want to pay Tyreek Hill. Why would they want to pay DeAndre Hopkins? I'm just not sure. Now, would you trade a second-round pick for Hopkins? Now, that would be appealing because it's going to be a late second-round pick if the Chiefs win a playoff game or two. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Would I consider it? Yes. Would you have to sacrifice something else? You probably would, based on the salary cap. So let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Pin comment on today's video. Would you trade a second-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins? All right, let's talk about Orlando Brown and his improvement because, look, I've been one of the more harsher critics of Orlando Brown this season, but he has been very good since Week 10, especially according to Pro Football Focus. But if you just watch, he's played a lot better too. That first step has been a lot quicker, hasn't been getting beat nearly as often as he did earlier in the year. Here's what Pro Football Focus had to say is he figures to be one of the top free agents this next offseason. He says after threatening to hold out for the 2022 season following a franchise tag saga that didn't culminate in a long-term deal, Brown turned a slow start into a strong second half, protecting quarterback Patrick Mahomes. From Week 10 to the end of the regular season, Brown's 88.7 pass blocking grade ranked third best among left tackles. Certainly a tale of two seasons for Orlando because the first half of the year, like I said, he wasn't very good, and he still ended up with one of the most pressures allowed in the NFL. Now, those numbers are a little inflated with Mahomes' play. He dances around, buys more time, and technically those can end up being pressures, even though, most quarterbacks would get rid of the ball quicker. Mahomes obviously is good at buying time and creating. But the first half of the year, Orlando Brown was not very good. He just wasn't. I don't know if it was due to a lack of conditioning from the offseason since he held out of training camp or what. But similar to last year, second half of the year, he's played a lot better. And if he plays like this over a complete season, yeah, he can be one of the highest paid left tackles. I still wouldn't reset the market with him, but contract talks will be interesting because, again, if you're the Chiefs, you can't just simply let him go because then you got a left tackle position to fill, which you may have to figure out right tackle that next year depending on the Andrew Wiley to Lucas Niang situation. It could Niang be that guy next year? Who knows? But you don't want to replace both tackle spots next year. So Lucas Niang coming back still makes the most sense for this team, but will it be a long-term deal or will it be a franchise tag for the second season? What do you guys think? Would you sign Orlando Brown to a long-term deal, or would you tag him again for about $20 million? This year the tag was 16 and change. Next year it would be 20, 21 million, somewhere in between there. You could certainly tag him again because he's going to want more than 20 million per year on a new deal. What will happen with Orlando Brown? I don't think they'll let him walk. Type S for sign or T for tag him using the franchise tag. All right, Orlando Brown's played like a real one over the last couple of months. If you're a real one, that means you love the Chiefs, you're a part of this fan base, and you watch a lot of our videos. If you want a Real One Chiefs Kingdom t-shirt there, go pick one up, chatsports.com/RealKC. It is chatsports.com/RealKC. If you're a real one, represent the family here at Chat Sports and at the Chiefs Report, chatsports.com/RealKC to purchase your shirt today. Let's talk some injury news here, updates, as obviously Kansas City's bye week allows time to let a few guys heal before the divisional round of the playoffs. And these are kind of the three main injuries right now. Frank Clark dealing with a groin injury. We talked a little bit about that on Monday as it's considered minor. Mecole Hardman was activated from IR but did not play against the Raiders, was questionable, almost gave it a go but did not as he continues to recover from that pelvis injury. And then Skyy Moore dealing with a hand injury. I believe all three should and will be ready to play next weekend. I would say the most critical one is Frank Clark, second most Mecole Hardman, third most Skyy Moore. Obviously, you want as many bullets in the chamber for those playoff games, so hopefully all three are ready to go. We should have more tangible updates as we get closer to the divisional round. Seems like Harrison Butker's okay with that back. He ended up kicking against the Raiders and was fine, so that was good to see. Hopefully he kicks well in the playoffs as well. Now, who do you think, or dare I say, who do you want the Chiefs' divisional round opponent to be? It'll be one of these four teams, Jacksonville, the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Dolphins. The lowest seed remaining will be the team that Kansas City plays in the next round. So type JAC for Jacksonville, LAC for the Chargers, BAL for the Ravens, or MIA for the Dolphins. Who do you think Kansas City will play in the divisional round? Now make sure you subscribe to the channel because once we know who the Chiefs are going to face in the divisional round, we will hit you guys with a preview video. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're dialed in as we will have you guys covered here on the Chiefs Report. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Go ahead and subscribe as we'll have full playoff coverage. All right, speaking of the playoffs and later into the playoffs, AFC title game in the ATL? Maybe. There's a report out there that Atlanta is a strong candidate for a potential Chiefs-Bills AFC Championship game. Now, do want to reemphasize, that's the only scenario where this game's played at a neutral site. If both Kansas City and Buffalo advance to the AFC title game for the Chiefs, they would only have to win one game because they're off this week. Bills would have to win this week against Miami and then a potential divisional round game as well. But obviously, decent chance it happens. The Chiefs and Bills have met in the AFC Championship before. Sal Capaccio, a Bills reporter, says that he's hearing that Atlanta is very much in play if there's a neutral site AFC Championship game. He also mentioned New Orleans could be a backup. I think either of these, especially Atlanta, would be good neutral site. Dome Stadium. Atlanta's got one of those new stadiums down there. So, there wouldn't be a weather advantage one way or the other. Kansas City and Buffalo in January would be very cold either way. So I don't think either team is necessarily getting screwed by having to go play in a neutral site. You go play indoors, all conditions considered equal. Perfectly fine with that. Atlanta would be fun for a neutral site. So would New Orleans. So we'll see what happens. Again, obviously both teams have to get there first, but it does sound like Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta could be an option for the NFL. That will, of course, be decided by Roger Goodell if and when the time comes. Okay, there you go. That's it for today's Chiefs Report. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter at HGramNFL. Give me a follow and slide in the DMs if you have any Chiefs questions. Also, same handle on Instagram as well. I'm Harrison Graham. We will see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.